Welcome into the Six Man Sports Network. We got a banger for you tonight because we got to talk about what's coming up with this football season. This is the Six Man Sports Network football preview. We're going to be going over our Power Six, unveiling that. We're going to be unveiling
Jeez.
some of our early predictions, and also, as well, we got to talk about these alignments. School's moving, conferences change. Like, bro, districts changing. We got to talk about the realignments that was going on with VHSL. But without further ado, I'm Kendall Davis. With me, as always, is Chris, the originator Draper. Chris, back in action here. We got the highlights popping off right now. Because look, man, it's like you step outside and you smell football when you step outside the door. Because we are right here
For sure,
knocking
bro.
at the start of the season, man. How you feeling right now?
My brother. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Like I'm feeling good. Football season started back. NFL coming back on the TV
Yep.
Thursday. You got Hard Knocks. You got all football all weekend. You know what I'm saying? And then you had high school football jumping
Mm-hmm.
scrimmages. Videographers just flooded it in for us, and then of course photographers out here flooding it in for us at the same time. Shout out to everybody on the six man, everybody that's rocking with us at this point, bro. For real. Y'all just came back this weekend, almost exploded the whole algorithm off the rip. We
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it, of course, you know what I mean? So, bro, I'm just look, to me, regardless, I'm a basketball person at the end of the day.
For sure.
But there's nothing but look, on God, there's nothing like football season. It's real life. And
There's
there's
not. There's
nothing.
nothing. There's nothing
There's
like the.
nothing.
Like,
There's
bro, when
nothing.
when you really sit back and I look and I know there's a lot of sports out there. There's nothing like the game of football, and we're gonna
Nah, for
look.
sure. For
And,
sure,
and
bro.
I
They
and
don't
I
and they
say that,
and they
and I
don't
think
even know what we got.
they
We
don't.
gon'
You
we
don't
I
know
ain't
what we're
gonna
gonna
say
get into
nothing.
it. You know,
Oh
we,
my
we're not even gonna
gosh.
go really get the deep into it, but there's really just
Oh man.
I could
Kendall, you
write
Kendall,
I
Kendall,
could
you got
write
some stuff like
paragraphs
you
right
got some
now.
stuff in the works, don't you?
Yeah, we do,
We ain't
we
gonna
do,
say that. We ain't gonna say nothing. We ain't gonna
we
say
do. Look,
nothing. We ain't gonna say nothing.
but hey, without further ado, though, let's go ahead and hop into it because we got a lot to get into tonight, especially when we're talking about first. I want to start off with early predictions before I cloud my mind with
Okay.
these
Not for sure.
reclassifications because this
For
would
sure.
be the last year that we have the regions intact as we've known them, right? So I want to break it down like this. We can go down through region 3D, region
Mm-hmm.
3C,
Mm-hmm.
and then region 4D
Mm-hmm.
off the rip and talk about our favorites there, who we expect to come out of those regions, maybe some sleeper teams that you have in there that you like to throw in the mix too as well. So first, let's start it off with the region 3C over there with LCA being pretty much being one of the headliners in that region. Chris, are we looking at this year being a year where LCA works their way back into the state semis?
For sure, bro. I don't see no other way, bro. With Luke at the helm, you
Mm-hmm.
serious with that quarterback Jordan Burns too, bro? Look, they right back at it. I don't see them having to walk down people like they had to last year. Remember, that was walk down world for real.
Right.
Remember, they walked down the entire region, went away, busted
Because they had the
everybody
slow
up.
start on that on the
Yes.
out of
You
state
remember that
schedule.
game? Yeah, the out of state
Yeah.
schedule where the game kind of Ironton. You remember that
Then they
game?
had the
And so they
forfeit.
even lost the game. They had a
Mm,
forfeit to jump. They lost the game too. So you remember that whole situation. So to me, LCA, I don't think they got to run into that problem no more. And I think Luke gets to display, gets to like from what I saw from a little bit of the clips that some of the people sent me. We're gonna start putting like fan made clips on our six man for real. Nah, for real. We're gonna,
for
so
real,
y'all
for
want
real.
to see y'all send us what you got. We'll make sure to try to push it out for real.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fan made. We'll make sure to give you credit and we'll make sure to push it out because I know a lot of people want to send us some
It's
clips. So we
never too
appreciate
much.
those people. And it's never too much on God. But at the same time, bro, we going to get to see that Luke that we saw at Rafford. You
Mm-hmm.
remember that Luke where we saw that one time
Mm-hmm.
up at Rafford where he was just going
Just letting it
crazy
go.
and he letting it go? We going to get to see that Luke. We're going to get to see Coastal Carolina QB1 Luke out here going crazy, just like he did against what was it, Kettle Run. You remember that
Mm-hmm.
game? And I could almost see them matching up one time again because that was a quarterback. That's going to be a QB duel. And that would be an early prediction for me to see LCA versus Kettle Run back again in a state semifinal where we almost got a Magna Vista LCA state championship last year. But Lake Taylor and Kettle Run sport, and then Lake Taylor came away with it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, and Lake Taylor, I think they'll be coming with it again, but we ain't going to get into them just yet. We in the Southwest. But With that being said, bro, my early prediction would be, of course, LCA. But I'm hearing Heritage is still really good. No slash on that squad, you know what I mean? But they're
Right.
still really good. Might have to pull up to Heritage this year for real. I already talked to the AD. He said it was cool. You know what I mean? So I'm still gonna, if I got an early prediction out in that region right now, I would still say Heritage and LCA might meet up again in the Region 3D final. Um, that would be my early prediction. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm gonna be wrong to be honest with you. But LCA, Heritage, that's what I'm banking on.
Now I don't. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I could throw Heritage up there, get
Right.
into the
I get what you're
region.
saying.
Just based on like we're not as
What you
familiar with
saw.
the rest of the
Right, right,
region,
right,
but what we
right.
saw with the matchups going on throughout the whole entire region last year, I'm not sure if I can make that leap there with Heritage. But what I
Okay.
can make
I
that
got
leap
you.
with is LCA being
Oh,
that
for
team
sure.
to be the favorite in the region. I don't care if they were seeded 6 or 8 last year. We knew where they were. We knew they were getting out of that region to the state semis. And I'm gonna go back to the bank on it this year. When you got your starting quarterback coming back, man, it's only up from here. Like, think about every time you see a junior quarterback that has a stellar year, makes a deep run, they don't do anything but progress. They don't do anything but take a leap. I really look for this year to be a big leap for Luke to see what he's going to do and unveil in the offense out there at LCA, having more opportunities, like you said, to air it out, and really just having more command. To me, there's nothing more dangerous than a good pocket passer who can be accurate and hit a receiver and have receivers that catch the ball in high school football. Like that, like to me, like if you can have your pass game be an extension of the run game to where the only time you're really having misconnections is whenever the defense makes a good play on the ball, that sets you heads and shoulders apart, especially in these in the 3A and 4A ball, right?
For
So when
sure.
I'm looking at LCA, I'm looking at that type of ball. I'm seeing them being a team that can definitely get out of the get out of the region and get to the state semis. So I'm with you there. LCA to me is the favorite in that region.
Oh,
Heritage,
for sure. Still, that's the favorite.
I'm not
I
writing
get
them
what you're saying.
off, but I need to see it
I'm
more.
hearing. Let's go
Like
by
you
right
said, you
now.
got more
Chris going by
ears.
hearsay. I got
You
some
got
ears
more
to the
ears on the
ground, of
street.
course, bro.
You know.
Yeah, for sure, bro. At this point, it's crazy. But go ahead. At this point, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But to jump right over to 3D right now, and we're gonna stay in that classification.
Man, my God. Stay here for a second.
Look, this is mine because
It's
I think
personal.
my squad is going to be the squad
Yeah.
that once again is going to get out of this region, and that is Magna Vista. It is retool every year. Chris, I know we got wide receiver you out there at at
Right.
at, uh, at Ohio State, but I think Magna Vista is wide receiver high. Like
For sure.
you never
For
really
sure.
see Magna Vista lack for wide receivers. I don't know where they breed them from, but they come out of Magna Vista. They are built. What we've seen so far in the highlights, but regardless of what people want to
Boy,
say, you
making eye
can't say
contact, bro. Stop playing.
like John Milner every year, every like
Bro.
last year, it was Tay Scott that was the one that popped up.
For
Like
sure.
he was a junior that popped up on the scene because I remember, it was the year before that. That first year it was Tyler Martin and Golly.
Tyler
I'm at
Martin.
and
Yep,
I'm
Tyler Martin.
and the young man, but who was it that was with him the year before? That first year. I'm blanking on his name. Young man, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Uh,
It's
but
all good.
look,
I
it
should
was
have
3 years.
helped you, and
Hey,
I couldn't
it's
help you
2 years
either right now.
ago.
It
It's
was two
making
years
them.
ago,
It's
bro.
gonna come
It
back
was
to
two
me.
years ago.
But look,
Don't
each
forget
year
about,
they
but
have
don't forget about MJ too. Don't forget about MJ Scott
MJ
too.
Scott
Don't
as
forget
well.
about MJ Scott too.
But they
The
always
brothers.
retool. And look, even with MJ Scott, you see Jamarlee Shelton getting active
Yep. Yep.
in the highlights. You see JC getting active in the highlight. Like,
For
bro,
sure.
they're retooling Madden Vista. On top of that, getting down to the quarterback Hunter Willard. Like, I'm just impressed with what I saw in the highlights. Like, just the pocket presence, the timing on the crossing routes. That's just like that's to me is just different of what you're finding. So if that's something that you can translate beyond the scrimmage, is that something that you can translate? Being able to make the right decisions and right reads to really take your game to the next level as a pocket quarterback. Because that's one of the things too. As a pocket quarterback, if you don't have that offensive line, you have to be able to make those quick reads. Like you have to be able to read your defender and say, "Yeah, I'm going here," before the pressure gets to you. If not, you're going to be in dead water, and we know how that's going to be in the PD whenever Magna Vista has to come up against GW. That pressure is going to be to a
Right.
different level. So all in all, Magna Vista to me is the favorite, in my opinion, in Region 3D. Lord Botetourt, I think they're another team that retools and rebuilds. I am curious to see what they do with the new coach and how that kind of the culture transfers over from the coaching change. With it still being there, I would say they're probably my second, either them or William Byrd. William Byrd having those folks returning too as well. I would see William Byrd being in strong running for second between those two.
For sure. For
But
sure.
right now, it's Mana Vista is retooled and reloaded, despite losing, the backfield of Sim Moore and Ethan Dukes and Jarrell Carter Jr. On that line as well, and losing the hope, losing your other talented folks like Tyler
Jarrell
Martin
Carter
too,
Jr. for sure. I
like
just
losing
caught that.
Tyler Martin out there as well. Like, bro, you lost a
Hmm.
lot if you Mana Vista, but you just retool.
No, that's just Magna Vista in general, man. We've known that for quite some time. They built a powerhouse ever since you were there, starting off with those losing records, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You look, you walk so they can run. So you know what I mean? For sure. Like, you know what I mean?
You ain't
But
had to say it
no,
like
just
that. You ain't had
hey,
to.
hey,
Hey,
hey, hey,
look,
hey, hey,
by my junior
listen.
year, there was with
Your
seven and
junior year, you
five. You
was
ain't had
nice.
to,
There you go. Hold on,
and then
hold on,
my
hold on.
senior year, my
Put the
senior
proper
year,
perspective.
we,
There you
we
go.
hey, the
Put the
Salem
proper
gang.
perspective
Remember,
out there. Magna Vista has always been great at football. You know what I'm saying? And then Vivero got them two state titles to back it up.
yeah.
So, with that being said, bro, all I would say is this. When you do lose somebody like Sim, when you do lose somebody like Ethan, you lose a lot of leadership, a lot of maturity that's
Mm-hmm.
hard to replace. You lose people with experience, 4-year starters that were on that team that, when their back is against the wall, you can trust those guys. I mean, they went out on their shield last year, and if it wasn't for one play, you might have seen them in the state championship, in all honesty. So, what I would say here is I still think Magna Vista to me is the cream of the crop in Region 3D. I still think they're number one right out the bat, just
Mm-hmm.
because it's a mixture of everybody else lost a lot, to be honest, and Magna Vista just continues to retool. You know what I mean? I think we've
Mm-hmm.
heard listen, we're from Martinsville, Virginia at the end of the day, Martinsville, Henry County. So we've heard a lot about Hunter Willard from the beginning. You know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
this ain't nothing new to us. We know him and we know what he's capable of. We know he's a pocket presence. We know he's a pocket QB. Been hearing about that kid since Ducks. You know what I mean? And everybody know when I'm saying Ducks in Martinsville, Henry
Mm-hmm.
County, you know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, I see John Milner might be the best athlete at Magna Vista for sure, by far. You see what he did in the high jump. You see what he did in basketball, leading scorer for Magna Vista last year. I worked with the kid as far as basketball is concerned as well, so I know what he bringing to the table. And his
Mm-hmm.
football, you see this boy an athlete. He out here putting look. He out here pass the sticks, give it up, turn it into a highlight reel, bruh. Got to be able to make tackles. So what I'm saying is this: Magna Vista to me, just like you said, wide receiver, they number one. Number two to me would be Bird, because I saw, Bird to me is bringing a lot of kids back. Same talented coach that they have had for a long time in Lutz. And then you got a running back coming back that we know all too well about. You know what I mean? He's
Mm-hmm.
coming back. So I would say, you lost your quarterback, you lost Toller at running back, but at the same time, you got Matthews coming back at running back too. And I know that those mountain teams, those kind of up in Roanoke, hey, listen, that line probably ain't gonna be too much to be worried about at the same time. So what I would say is I just want to see if other teams are going to come out the woodwork like a Stanton River, you know what I mean, that struggled a little bit last year towards the end of the season. And they were a pretty good matchup for Magna Vista earlier on. I want to see teams like Laura Botetourt with Nick Leftwich.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he's going to do there, given what he did at William Fleming. And we know Laura Botetourt is wrestling football at the end of the day. So we understand what they can bring to the table. So we want to see what these type of teams, Northside having a good year like they had last year. We want to see what these teams are going to bring to the table. We've already seen a little bit of Carroll County, but I got to feel like I know what they lost. I got to feel like just that offense, that triple option will give some people some problems at the end of the day. So we just want to see. And then we don't know what Abington has because that's in
Right.
region at the same time, and we will figure it out. We will find out. But if I'm going with it, my two tops would be Magnificent and Bird. Now, here's a key here. Bassett probably would have been one of our favorites going into this season had we not learned the information that we already knew and everybody else knows now. David Cook, I seen a lot of people putting reports out. I seen that top 10 list in the
Mm-hmm.
Southwest on Green Gen 434. Shout out on that. You know what I mean? And like other like entities or whatever, saying who got the best quarterbacks, and I seen Luke number one, I seen David number
Yeah.
two. David was there, no doubt about it. But David has now transferred. He will be playing baseball. You know what I mean? He's focused on that. So Bassett just lost probably the best quarterback, I would say, on this side of the Southwest in the
Mm-hmm.
region, where I thought he could win games himself with his legs and with his arm. So now it's a whole nother conversation that we'll get into when we talk about the Piedmont District. Bassett, you know, given that they didn't establish the greatest run game last year, I got to see what Bassett can do at the end of the day, because I was willing to put Bassett, at least at number three in the Piedmont District right off the bat, because we was gonna have GW first at the end of the day, and then Magna Vista and whatnot, and then it was gonna be Bassett. But now I got to see how Fielder and company gonna do with this squad. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, that would be my early predictions, and things that I would kind of qualify as far as this Region 3D that we really talk a lot about headed into the season. You know what I mean? So I can't forget about Pulaski County. You just want to see what these other schools, Christiansburg, Cave
Yeah.
Spring, these other schools kind of bring to the table, Blacksburg, just to see what they bring to the table at the end of the day.
Now, we know what two teams bring something to the end of the table last year. We're talking about these two
For
teams,
sure.
GW and Jefferson Forest. They brought it all to the table
Hmm.
in the Region
Yeah.
4D finals last year.
Yeah.
GW, Jefferson Forest, retooling, reloading up for this year. The big,
Reload, boy.
the
G
big
Dub
guns.
out here,
I'm
boy.
assuming, they're teenagers, so they continue to grow. The big guns that were already big, I am assuming, are coming back this year
Bigger.
even bigger. So
Bigger.
it's going to be
For
even
sure.
bigger football out there this year. Chris, what are we looking at? Because to me, this region is going to come down to GW and Jefferson Forest. Me personally, I got state championship. I got state finals runs expectations. Getting to the state semis expectations for GW this
You forgetting
year.
about one school, but I go ahead.
Oh, it region.
Nah, not in that, but Verona.
Oh, see. That's why I said region semi because I got it. Like, I need to see, look
You mean
the
stay
game.
semi
Yeah,
type. I gotta see
state
that.
semi,
I see what this,
Yeah.
we
But
saw
look,
what
at the end
Verona
of the
did
day,
to
though,
JF.
like depending on what they do with Reedsville, like that Reedsville
For
game,
sure.
that first game
Oh
of the week,
man.
like that's gonna put
Mhm.
everything on notice. That's gonna let us know. Yeah, we're gonna know for sure. Um, but look, regardless of sticking in region 4D,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Jefferson Forest, I know what they did to GW last year, but I think GW this year is one. I think GW this year feels pressure. Like for some reason, I don't know. Like if it's the expectation that they have on themselves, or like the expectation that the outsiders, if you will, I don't want to say they have it on themselves. So I don't know. I ain't in the locker room, but from like just looking outside, looking in, we know what they had last year, right? But be able to come back this year, being retooled, like it feels like they didn't really lose anybody. Now we know they lost some folks, some D1 caliber players, but
Right.
also as well, it's like, but where do you really skip a beat? Because it just feels up like the next man was always up there, right? Like they felt like they was deep at so many positions. So now this year, one of the biggest things, the hardest things to overcome is an offensive line that is as stout as they are. Last year we gave them
Bro,
offensive line player of the game. Well, maybe that's 2 years ago,
for
but they
sure.
could have got it
That was
last
two
year
years
too
ago,
as
but
well.
still,
And
bro.
they could have got it last year too as well, right? That offensive line eats and continues to eat, and now it's like I said, the big guns just keep getting bigger coming into this year, running behind that running back core that you already had established last year. Chris, maybe it's because I just know more about GW,
For sure, we do.
but
We
at the
know
end of
very
the
we know
day,
GW very well.
like I am a believer in what GW is going to put on the field this year and being
Okay.
something extremely special. Um, Now, I ain't never seen Verona play, so I'm not gonna say
We
state
ain't gotta speak
championship
like
run.
we'll
So I don't
wait
got to
because
go
we
that
know
far ahead,
for sure.
but I will say I see something very special this year with GW Brewing. That yeah, Region 4D to me, which seems to be in the bag for them. Not saying it's an easy walk because Jefferson Forest, I can see that being a slugfest. Not to say the Piedmont District could be an easy walk because there's always kind of a bigger connotation of you looking at GW being a bigger school, always getting it, but then you always wonder why it's always a one touchdown game between GW and Magna Vista. I see that being, I
Facts.
can still see that being the case this year because I think Man Vista can be a team that puts something special together this year. Um, but GW to me is just on a different level right now. So I gotta, hey, I gotta go with them for reaching
Say
4D.
less. Say less. So Region 4D right off the bat, I'm going G
Mm-hmm.
Dub. You ain't even got well, Region 4D. So it's going G Dub, Jefferson Forest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think Jefferson Forest brought back the majority of their guys too, Peyton Jackson and company at the same time. So with me, that's the two. And I know GW is, I know they want Jefferson Forest at the number one. They want Jefferson Forest. I know
Mm-hmm.
they want that rematch. Jefferson Forest put a bad taste in their mouth. You remember we were hearing about that game as we were doing the GW,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, excuse me, as we were doing the Magna Vista Lord Botetourt game, because I thought about we should probably have done that GWJF game, but it ended in a blowout. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that bad taste in their mouth had them working all year long. As soon as that game ended, I think they got back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the same time, bro, GW, they have retooled. They really got it for real at the end of the day. They prepping for them. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Jefferson Forest is looking past them at the end of the day. So with that being said, those two teams are who I would put right at the top of Region 4D. That's who I would say is on a collision course to meet in the Region 4D championship, which is the state quarterfinal. Now, Salem is another team in Region 4D that we cannot forget about. Quarterback, you know what I'm saying, Tanner Overstreet. And then you got Jordan McCadden, D1 running back, got two D1 offers off the rip. And that was a very young core last year that finished off the rest of their season at 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they started off 0-4, finished off the rest of their season at 5-1. You think they ain't coming back with a vengeance? You know what I mean? You think they ain't coming back to spark something and say, yo, y'all do know who really like been running Region 4D for the
Mm-hmm.
longest, right? It's been running through Salem. So to me, Salem is also going to try to creep in there and do the same thing. You remember the first year Six Man was in existence, GW had a really good squad at the same time. Salem came through, ran through that.
Right.
I'm not saying it's going to happen again this year. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying Salem is there to shake things up and get back to prominence at the end of the day. That's just my thought process on it. Just putting another team in there from Region 4D
Now
that
that is a
might
very
throw a
good
little bit of
because I did overlook them like there,
that
but
might
they,
try to throw a wrench in
yeah.
there that was very young last year and talented towards the end of the season. And we all know like just Salem's mentality anyway. So at the end of the day, I'm still saying Jefferson Forest and GW first, right there, neck and neck,
Mm-hmm.
right at it. But I'm saying Salem's gonna put themselves in the conversation this year. It ain't gonna be no 5-5 record.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You might see 7-3. You might see 8-2. You know what I mean? Because you still got Dinwiddie on the schedule. You still got Patrick Henry on the schedule. You still got your matchups. You know what I mean? For Salem.
Well,
At
Chris,
the end of the day, they didn't
realistically,
run from nothing.
I see a world where they go nine
That's
and
what
one or 8-2.
9-1, 8-2, 7-3 at the
Like,
least. Right. We talking the least is seven and
mm-hmm.
three. In the least. And I
Mm-hmm.
gotta really go check out that schedule to even say
Yeah,
least of seven and
ironically,
three.
I have it right in front of me right now, and
Okay.
I'm looking at it, and it's like, yeah,
It's 8-2
eight
off
and
rip,
two.
ain't it?
I feel like 8-2 is the floor. Uh,
See? You see
to
what I'm
be
saying?
real, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I definitely don't see undefeated though. Well, this
Oh,
depends on what
no, no, no.
Dinwiddie's hitting for.
Dinwiddie, that's what I'm saying. So you got Dinwiddie off the rip. You know what I mean? That's like second
Mm-hmm.
game of the season, right?
Mm-hmm. Third. Oh, whoa,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
actually fourth. Fourth
Fourth
game of the
game of the
season.
season. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so they might get started with some. They said, look, we're gonna catch
3-0.
some, we're gonna catch confidence
Mm-hmm.
early, is what they said. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I
okay.
mean,
So
I
you got
love
at
that William
Glass.
Fleming game
Hold on.
going into
We
it.
do have to, yeah. So that's a key test right there, too, right? Because Glass with Jai quarterback, and we saw what Damaris Harris can
Mm-hmm.
do at wide receiver. We just want to see that team. Remember, they got some animosity towards Glass because Glass did walk into Salem and beat Salem at
By
Salem.
one last year, right? It was like by 1 point or something
Exactly.
like that.
Franklin County also beat Salem last
Mm-hmm.
year. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what had us kind of like we were figuring out who Salem was. So Salem has two road matchups to begin with. And we also got to see what Fleming's popping with because I'm gonna be honest with you, these Salem matchups are very intriguing because 9-11, yeah, we might mess around and do a Salem Fleming game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to see, like, we got to see what Fleming is. Fleming is a new coach at the helm. Zy Stillman transferring to Roanoke Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see what they bring in too. So we're definitely gonna be keying in to a lot of these things, bro. But at the same time, I would say Salem's floor is to me, I say 8-2. So I put them ahead. Yeah, I say 8-2. That's the you right. I looked at that schedule off rip. I'm gonna say 8-2 because I'm gonna say right now you got to see Dinwiddie and then PH. Still, we know they bring back the quarterback. We know they who they bringing back as far as that squad. But you lost a wide receiver and you lost a nasty running back at the same time. So I'm looking at it because I want to see what you got right there, right? So we gonna see, bro. We gonna see. But Salem's trying to throw a monkey wrench in that region 40, bro. That region 40. Yeah,
Yeah,
sleep.
I definitely left Salem off of
Yeah,
that list
yeah.
in
Don't let
Region
don't leave
40
Salem off.
because yeah,
Nah.
you're right. Like how they finished off the season last year,
Hmm.
what they fought through last year, and now this year bringing back a lot of talent and firepower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very seasoned too. They had a lot of experience. Remember, they lost like 6 guys right off the team to begin the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You remember that? So I'm telling you, bro. I think I'm not. Look, by no means right now. Y'all know I love Salem. Y'all know me. Come on. At the end of the day, but by no means am I putting them over GW or JF right now. Is the we? Hey,
Like,
six
hey, you
man
slow
lives.
down on that a little bit.
Listen. Slow down on that. 6 man lives in a show me state. You bringing your team back or bringing a lot of your team back. You come off this rip, we gonna have to give it to you first. 6 man learned from the first season. We ain't been and we ain't and we've been rocking it ever since. Like ain't got to show us. So you
Now
just
we
got to show us. I think.
now you want to talk about having it. Look, we're going into our third season,
Yeah, for
but it
sure,
seems like we got some news on going into our fourth season already. Before the third
for sure.
season even wrapped up, we already got a little bit of
Right,
insight
and we
on what
already
the fourth season is going to look like. That's because we got major reclassifications that's happening in PHSL with these schools moving to different regions, moving between 4A, 2A, 3A, whatnot. So let's go ahead and break down some of the biggest ones in that area. First and foremost, Chris,
out to me.
I think we start off at home because we could probably have the most extensive conversation about this. Region 3D is just gonna be crazy. Region 3D, I think, got the biggest.
Oh wow, yeah. Oof.
Region
Ooh.
3D added two teams. Those teams being Mecklenburg County and GW.
Right.
Region, if you don't know, Region 3D is where you got Manda Vista, Lower by the Top, Williamburg, Bassett, Carroll County, Cave Springs, Christiansburg, Hidden Valley, Northside, Pulaski County, Stanton River. Chris,
Wow. Wow.
you're talking about a team like the last
Wow.
time we were just on this show, we talked about how GW was in the position to really just explode and take off, not only just because of, you know, the talent that they've had there, but what they're able to invest in the school and in athletics now, based off being Dan Vegas now. But we're talking about really these teams they've been battling out. Manda Vista has been at the top of Region 3D for like an endless run, right? Maybe not winning it every year, but at the very least, they're a real threat, real contender to win. GW has been a team that they consistently, when it comes to the PD, have gone blow for blow for at the final game of the season for the PD title.
Hmm.
Remember back in the Manda Vista Martinsville days when Manda
Yes.
Vista and Martinsville would go blow for
Yeah.
blow in the
Yeah, for sure.
PD and then had to
Yep.
turn right around
And then had to
and go
turn
blow for
around and
blow
play each other.
in the
Yeah.
region?
Yeah.
Then we're going to have a good time with this, Chris.
Oh my God,
we
bro.
gonna
This
have
just
it like we
bro,
gonna have a
this
good
just
time
set
with
us
this,
up
Chris.
just for like, bruh, stop playing, bro. This just set us up. Like, I think when they were setting up these alignments, I think they was thinking about the 6 man and just the like storylines and everything in between it, bro. Cause like GW being in region 3D, bro,
Mm-hmm.
that's almost like if you were talking, I want you to think about it like this. If you were talking about GW right now, let's say GW right now was in region 3D,
Mm-hmm.
they beat favorite
Mm-hmm.
automatically. Nah, no. Hey, go right past. Go collect your 200. You going right there. It might be is you against Magna Vista, and at this point, we probably give the nod to GW, right? Because they wanted to get they won it last year, and they're bringing
Mm-hmm.
back the same team without Matos, without Big Reeves. You know what I mean? But they bring Cayenne. You got Turk. You got the running backs back. You got
Mm-hmm.
wide receiver additions. Look like they airing the ball out, bro. Stop playing with me. So at the end of the day, like this hurts. all them other schools in Region 3D for real. When you got somebody like GW in Region 3D that was already a powerhouse in 4A, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
basically in the 4A, in the four classification in Region 4D, they already a powerhouse. So you mean to tell me you about to bring a powerhouse that was already competing in for state, at least state semi to get to the state quarters, and you about to bring them to Region 3 where they look at it probably like, oh, just
Beyond
hey, just line
football.
us, Brian, right? Just line us up because we're gonna go for the state title. You
Mm-hmm.
think like bro? I'm just telling you, bro. Like that's crazy work. Now they would like to have this team right there because you don't have the same running backs next year. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. You probably lose some of the line. They're still it's very young at the same time, but you keep Cayenne, you keep Big Turk. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, bro, like think about this right now. Think about the implications. I don't care what you're saying. I know Piedmont District coaches is mad. I know I know freaking like Region 3D coaches is
Yeah.
mad because this like when they felt like maybe they just had a squad to compete and get as far as they needed to get, you just threw this wrench in the plan already, and you
Mm-hmm.
sitting there like,
But on the other hand, you get rid of late Taylors out the way,
yeah, for
right?
sure,
In
yeah,
basketball, Petersburg
across the
is
other way.
now Petersburg
Petersburg
is
now
now
four,
4A. Like we
yeah.
like remember just talking
Yeah,
about
but you
like it was
still
gonna be
hold
curtains
on.
for Petersburg.
Yeah, it's still. But see, you ain't named another squad that's gonna be across the side because they gonna move down to
Well, yeah, let's
three.
go ahead and talk
So
about it
it's curtains. It's curtains again. Like you know what I mean? Like
because
you
you
said,
talking
oh,
about
well, shoot,
glass.
let's get Peters. Yes, let's get Petersburg out of there.
Yeah.
Now they moving to the four. Let's get Lake Taylor out of there. Now they moving to four. But then guess what? Let's move Glass down. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so
Because
Region
Glass,
3C
realistically, yes,
glass
we're
now
gonna be.
coming
Hey,
into
Hey,
Region
y'all need to
3C,
keep
and
up.
that's
We're
gonna
gonna be
change
going back and
everything.
forth here. We're gonna
Yeah.
be going back and forth
Yeah, so no, I think that wrapped it up on that Region 4D because I think
for
you
sure. It
did,
did.
did beautiful in leading into Region 3C because Glass
My
was moved
God,
down and you lose LCA out of Region 3C. We don't know what's going to happen. Word on the street, word on everybody. Everybody's saying that literally everybody is saying that LCA is going to
for
ask
sure.
to stay at 3C at 3A. We just don't know if that's happened yet for sure or not.
For sure.
Um,
But God, we'll talk about it in class too. We'll get there. We'll get there.
but hey, but Chris, when
But
you talk about
glass.
Glass, that opens up the door, especially for basketball. Like you said, these have different implications for different sports. When you're looking at basketball and what Glass has been building in basketball, being in 3A, like
Power.
you're looking at Glass. I'm looking at Glass and GW being on a collision course in 3A.
Again.
Mhm. Now,
Again.
Christiansburg and Hidden Valley, I don't know what they're going to be looking like beyond this year.
That's
Because
good. That's
I
good.
know they
That's
were
good.
building up right, but like I'm
Hmm.
not remembering off the top of my
Now
head
Hidden
that those
Valley had a
kids were
lot of seniors though.
sophomores.
Hidden Valley had a lot of seniors
So
except the
who?
younger Womendorf brother.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So
Christiansburg would be my if we're talking basketball, right?
they were
I'm
the
gonna
ones
put
with the sophomores, right?
Christiansburg at the top. Yeah, yeah. I'm up over Bay, everybody there. I'm gonna put Christiansburg at the top of Region
Yeah.
3D off rip. But then if we talking about, well, yeah, Region 3D, but if we talking about top of Region 3C, it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
glass at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day. So now when you're talking about that, and then hold on, please, if GW comes down, so now I think it's Christiansburg versus GW, right? Because
Right.
GW was very young last year. So it'd be Christiansburg versus GW. And to me, it'll be glass, and it depends on if LCA could stay, you know what I mean, in that 3A classification over
Mm-hmm.
there on that Region 3 side, 3C side. But, but at the end of the day, bro, to me, glass has built themselves when you still got what they got with Harris at the guard position, when you still got my man's at the guard position, like, bro, them guards, like, listen, end of the day, he he got a powerhouse, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he bringing in more. Because me and DJ, for real, I hope you don't mind me saying this. Me and DJ talk a lot at the end of the day. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? He bring his kids to me as far as like I train them. At this point, I'm training some of the EC Glass guards too. And I see them up close and personal all the time, and I see what they're working with. They ain't playing no games, bro. It's a bunch of shifty guards that can shoot high basketball IQ that play extremely well in his system. He got them boys right at the end of the day. So I'm telling you right now, see, look what they did last year, where they were able to go right back to the state quarterfinals, right? They were
Mm-hmm.
able to go right back to the state quarterfinals. They took a L on the road. I think yeah, to Heritage Leesburg. You think they ain't ready? So you mean to tell me, let's get into it right here. You mean to tell me they could possibly win a 4A championship this year, come back down and compete, and probably win a 3A championship next year.
That just shows how crazy. I'm gonna be real. Like
So you mean he can
that
get
just
back to
shows how
back in
crazy.
different
I'm not a
classifications?
fan
I'm
of these
telling you.
moves. Like to be like what you're saying right now proves like is even more reason. I'm gonna just give it a buck. I'm not a fan of any of these moves of any of the changes. To be real, I felt like we were at a pretty good spot. Only thing I am a fan of is Petersburg getting out 3A because I'm a 3A person. So that gets them out of the way for basketball. But yeah, Chris, like I'm gonna be real. What you explained there with Glass being the team that can win 4A and then very well can be expected to come back and win 3A. Like, bro, it's I don't like it. I
I'm
just
telling
like
you,
I'm gonna
bro.
just be real,
Like
just be blunt. Like I don't like the moves. We also too got because you sent this to as well. Got PH. They're going to request to move to 5A to stay in 5A instead of be moved up to 6A. So I guess they're saying that PH was getting moved up to 6A. Like I'm gonna be real. I feel like PH is where they belong. Like they like
right.
it
Like,
gets
hold on.
it
And
gets
before you move on, I gotta give a shout
yeah.
out real quick, bro. Shout out to Jamaic Hughes. Shout out to Malachi Spinner. Shout out to
Mm,
Coach Best. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I shout out my guys, you know what I'm saying, from EC Glass. I don't want to
mm,
leave no names off, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. So shout out to especially me, you know what I'm saying? So
mm.
like yeah, shout out to them guys for real. So say less. Get back to that PH though.
But
My
no,
bad.
like I feel like PH
For
was
real.
right where they at. Like PH is good where they at because you want to be able to compete for state titles at the end of the day. And like I feel like it was already that path was already
It's
difficult at 5A.
right. And
Already
now you
where
gotta go
you
to
at.
six.
So now
Don't you
you
gotta
gotta go.
travel a little bit more at the
You
same
got to
time?
travel a little bit more. And then another thing I don't like about it is how they treat Mecklenburg County, bro.
Uh-huh.
Mecklenburg County always getting the short end of the stick because it's like you telling me you're gonna put them in the district where most of these teams is in Roanoke or like west of
Mm-hmm.
Liberty County
Mm-hmm.
or
That's
northern,
a lot for them to
while you
travel.
have region, so you're stacking it up to a Region 3D got more than two teams more than Region 3C, where I feel like Lynchburg is a little bit closer than Roanoke. Maybe I'm off, but from Mecklenburg County, I feel like Lynchburg is a little bit closer. Feel like that Rushburg and maybe
I
the
would think
standard.
so, right? We
Maybe
could
I'm a
be
little
wrong. I'll
off. Like
chime in them
Brookville,
comments if we wrong
let me
with
know
it,
in the
like for real.
comment. Lynchburg, like you got two Lynchburg teams there. Like maybe Allegheny, that does sound a little bit further. I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it feels like Mecklenburg, y'all kind of like they just kind of having to come out here to these mountains. Seems a little treacherous. But at the end of the day too as well, we have Nelson County going down, looking to go down to 1A. And then like we talked about earlier, Liberty Bedford requesting to move to the Dogwood District, and LCA looking to stay uh, in 3A instead of moving down to Region 2C. Now, Chris, if they were to move down to Region 2C,
Hand it over.
Chris,
Hand it over.
if they were to stay in Region 2C, all right, football is one
Now,
thing.
so all right,
No,
so
no, no,
listen,
no,
so
no,
listen.
like
So
that,
listen, go ahead.
because we
Let's
about
go,
to
let's
go
go,
to,
let's go.
yeah.
Hand over football off rip. Hand
Oh,
over
like
football off
football is
rip.
one thing.
Hand over football off rip.
Basketball, though,
Okay.
would be the sleeper that nobody would like. They would look at it and immediately think football and think no. But when you look at basketball, what LCA puts on the court in basketball, how they played in that Seminole district last year,
Luke and
um,
Colt. Luke and Colt.
Chris, Region 2C, it would quite. I mean, we always know Martinsville's a
Floyd County,
powerhouse.
Martinsville, LCA.
Yeah,
With Floyd County and LCA being my favorites and Martinsville being the third. Until Martinsville to me, because they're gonna be a little bit
mm-hmm.
younger this
It,
year
yeah,
with who's gonna with Tyler leading them, in my personal
mm-hmm.
opinion, you know what I mean? And then of course you got man, what's the younger brother's name?
Amari, yeah,
Amari. Yeah, you got Amari, you got Jacorian, you got those guys, you know what I'm saying? I know a few guys they got coming up from that eighth grade squad to like freshman this year. I know the freshmen they got. What's bro, Tyler's cousin. You know what I'm talking about? He coming up this. He coming up this year too. He
Mm,
lefty. I apologize for forgetting your name. For real. I really do, bro. But I want to give him a shout out to lefty. He gonna be coming up. He cold. He tough. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna have a younger squad that Tyler is gonna have to lead along with like I said, along with Jacorian and along with Amari.
mm-hmm,
But at the same time, Martinsville going all they ain't never gonna hurt for no guards.
mm-mm,
Never. But Floyd County also, to me, they would just it would Floyd County. But look, bro, another key thing is this is next year too, right? So,
mm-hmm.
Floyd County to me would probably be the favorite in a sense of just because they would still by next year return everybody. Even though they lost Noah, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You got another year in where you returned everybody off the squad. You still got the two bigs, still got the guard play. You're
They're
gonna be
gonna be
straight.
seniors by
You know?
then, so yeah,
Yeah, bro,
you
it's
know,
gonna be
it's gonna
seniors
be their
by then. That's
senior
what I'm
year.
telling you, bro. And then Martinsville, they'll be better too, because like I said, so I'm thinking about I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about it in reverse. I'm thinking about it this year. LCA, they'll still I think they would lose. So I don't they would lose Colt. And Trey is already Trey Smith, who was one of their
Yeah.
wings that was pretty athletic. He just left to go to Hargrave this year. So LCA basketball wise might take a step back,
Okay.
but then
Okay.
again, they are a private school. You could still see somebody transferring in the Lynchburg
Mm-hmm.
area to LCA. So you don't know what Klein got up his sleeve to at the end of the day. But you still got Luke there. I think Colton graduates after this year. He's been having a great summer at the same time. So yeah, I'm still gonna put them three in rotation
Mm-hmm.
personally when it comes to Region 2C. And and it's gonna be some sleepers involved, of course, too. But I mean, we're just speaking hypothetically for next year, right? So
And that's if they even stay
and
in
it's if
two
it
C.
gets done because I think LCA is the type of school that probably can get what they want when it comes to
Yeah.
this realignment type stuff. So I think
It
that they don't really see like they don't really want the benefit of 2C in a
it'd
sense.
be
They
more
don't
and it'd be
they
more
football
headache.
handed.
It'd be more
Yeah.
headache for VHSL to keep them in 2A. Like,
And then like 2C, you know what I'm saying, travel for them coming
mm,
from Lynchburg to all the way to like when you gotta like Floyd's and you gotta meet like come on. You already
mm,
did Liberty Bedford like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like in Nelson County, when they possibly could have played and met their team, especially when they played when Nelson, what was it? Floyd County played Gretna,
mm,
Nelson County played Liberty Bedford, right?
yeah.
That was the matchups, and they
They
could have
already had
played
to
in
come play.
Lynchburg.
Yeah.
They had to come play in Franklin County. So, that's another one. And then, kind of flowing right into it. If we're still in two, right? You're still thinking about it's a request there. Liberty Bedford requesting to move to the
To
Dogwood
Dogwood
district,
District. Mm. I love that
which
move.
yeah, that ain't bad. That ain't bad move
You
at
want to
all.
win the
Look,
district.
it's a you want to win your district.
You want to win your district. You want to
That
have things to
Seminole
put
ain't
up.
that ain't coming.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
Not
want
with
to.
not with basketball. Not with EC Glass.
Mm-hmm. It's similar to what Martinsville did. Like at the end of the day, you want to move your district. You want to be able to establish winning culture.
For sure.
And that to me is what you do there. Like you move to a district that is more appropriate to your size, to where like at the end of the season you're playing teams that are in relevant, you know, relative competition, if you will. But look, that's hypothetical for now.
Right. It's
Until
all
after,
hypothetical.
like I said, it's a
We
little
love
sneak
talking
peek.
about it though.
It's a
We did.
sneak peek. Look,
Everybody
because
else
it's
was
been the
talking about
biggest
it. We needed to
conversation
chime
starter.
in.
It's
Right. We
been the
needed to
biggest
chime
conversation.
in.
But let us know in the chat. What's your biggest change? Do you like
Yeah.
it? Do you love it? And what do you think
Right.
is the biggest change? Last but not least, Chris, I gotta be honest with you. I'm running on fumes at this point.
Say less.
I got a list here. I'm interested to do
Oh
it like this,
Lord.
Chris,
Go ahead,
because
bro.
I kind of want to drive him crazy. One like, hey, just put him out there, and
Okay.
then we'll explain later.
Okay. Say less.
Like cold drop. I'm gonna drop my list.
Go
No
ahead.
particular order.
No
You drop your
particular order.
list. No
No
particular
particular
order.
order. Say less.
No explanation. And we
None.
out of here.
And we out.
I'll
Hold on.
explain another
After we
day.
get out though, I do got to make an announcement
Oh,
because
but
we
make an
forgot all
announcement
about
off the
this, and I
topic though.
apologize.
I ain't mean to say
No, no,
that.
no.
I mean,
Off topic, like for our giveaway. Not
okay.
gonna have look, life been life. We almost forgot about the giveaway. My wife reminded me. Shout out to the beautiful Miss Draper. You know what I'm saying? Got the giveaway stuff in hand. Want to make sure we give it away, but want to make sure we announce it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have the winner. She went through all those to make sure that it was fair, it was done right. We do have the winner. I'll announce it after we do this mic drop, and I'll make sure to post it on our Facebook, and I'll make sure. that I hit up the inbox, that I get the correct everything so I can send you everything in that giveaway. And we're gonna have some more giveaways this season too. Merch coming soon. We dropping all that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure we're gonna start up a store. Y'all support the six man, and you know what I'm saying, just get that merch, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, talk now. Let's drop it.
All right.
No particular order.
None
Go ahead.
whatsoever.
'Cause
Way too early,
it's
Power
tough.
Six.
Way
Way
too
too.
early, Power
Well, I guess
Six.
it's not way too early because way too early in the
No, it's
season.
right. It's
The
right.
too
No, it's
early
right off
Power
the
Six.
season.
It's a
Too early, Power
too early
Six.
Power Six. Not way too early. Too
Yeah.
early. Too early Power Six.
Talk to me.
Of course, I
Okay,
got
we
Madden Vista.
similar.
Hey, of course, I got Madden Vista. You know,
Of
it's like
course you
dapping your
do.
boys up when you get it. You know, when you picking them
Get
in
you
the
in there,
line.
bro.
Like, hey, you know,
Oh, yeah,
you
hey,
know,
you know
I
you
got
in
you in
there.
there.
You know, I got you. I'm
You
gonna look
know,
out.
yeah,
No,
dog.
stop swearing.
Hey, man,
Say, say
down years,
less.
down year for us is an up year for them.
Hey,
All right. I said I was gonna be quick. Then I got LCA.
yeah, for sure.
Patrick Henry, Jefferson Forrest.
Okay,
I honestly, I could have just had five. To be real with you,
facts. I get what you're saying.
but Salem,
Okay.
and then GW. Hey, GW getting that dap, walking up in there, dapping it up. You know what it is as well.
Hey,
GW's in
bro.
there rounding it off too as well.
We ain't got no particular order whatsoever, but me and
Mm.
Kendall right on the same page just to start the season. It's not, look, same thing right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? G Dub, Magna Vista, Salem, LCA, PH, and Jefferson Forest coming right off the rip. As you know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing got to be said, ain't nothing got to be explained.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we coming. I'm
But
gonna
I could
drop
have left
that.
it at five, and I'm
And
gonna
I'm gonna
let
let
y'all. I'm
y'all
gonna take the
I'm
test.
gonna
I
let
could have
y'all
left it at
argue that.
five. Yeah,
No, for
I could
sure.
have
I
left it
know.
at
I
five.
get it. I get
I
it.
could
I
have
get
left it
it.
at five.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
we got
I had to
it's
go
six
six.
man, so it's gonna be six. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But look, let me go ahead and give away the winner real quick, man. So we appreciate everybody that jumped in the giveaway. We appreciate everybody that shared. We're almost at 16,000 followers. Feel like we'll be by that by the time this show drop at the end of the day. So with that being said, man, Brittany Lester from Patrick County, you the giveaway winner. You know what I'm saying? We
Hey,
appreciate
Patrick
everything
County.
you did. We appreciate all the shares. We appreciate all the mentions. Patrick County up in this already. You know what I'm saying? We started with PC. You know what I mean? For real, they was in our first season. Highlights
Hey,
everywhere. You know
Chris,
what I'm saying?
you remember?
So
You remember
yeah.
that? You remember the game, the fan choice game in
Yes.
Patrick County, when we
Yes.
said, "Hey,
You see I'm
let
looking at
us
the
know out
screen.
there," and hope.
Yes. Yes. PC did us dirty. First season.
Hey,
And then
everybody,
we
get
was
him
trying to
out
figure it
here,
out. Get them
and
out
then we
here. They
got
said,
out
come
there.
on out.
Now
We got out
everybody's
there.
at the game, not watching.
Everybody at the game. Ain't nobody watching. Boy, boy, stop. That rewatch part was crazy, but I like, yeah. We messed up a little bit that game too. We went out,
Yeah, the stream. Yeah, that was when we
screen
learned
window.
the cell phone
Bro, we
towers
was learning.
weren't the wave. But look,
No,
hey,
sir. We was
Hey,
learning, bro.
it's
Yeah,
appropriate that be the
congratulations.
wave though, because like you said, 15K going, and that being the giveaway going to her with their
Yeah,
Patrick
bro.
County fan. That's appropriate.
Road to 20K. Y'all like, share, follow, subscribe on YouTube
YouTube
too.
as
Make
well.
sure because that game of the
Hey,
week,
that is the hugest thing.
watch,
Game of the
subscribe.
week. Not only is YouTube. Let's be real. YouTube is the better place to watch it live
For sure. For
because you
sure.
get to watch from your TV. You can watch from your phone.
Yes.
You can minimize your screen. But also on top of that, the games aren't going away. So when we start streaming live on
Yeah.
YouTube, they're gonna always be
Well,
there. Unlike on
yeah. That's
Facebook.
gonna be the library.
Unlike on Facebook, where they like
Right.
to delete. But look, anyway, but
Right.
then now when I'm starting to do impressions, it's getting too late. All right, so with that
For sure.
being
For sure.
said, with
Well,
that being said,
well,
congratulations to
man,
our winner.
congratulations, Brittany Lester. Appreciate you.
Congratulations to our winner. And again, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and sticking in with the Six Man Sports Network. We are going to be looking forward, Chris, to this season coming up. We got a lot to look forward to. A couple of new things we got coming up a sleeve that's going to be dropping
Mhm.
as well. With that being said, though, season 3 still got the same 3 rocking with you right here. Our super producer
Get
Antonio
a shout out.
Yates, me, Kendall
Hmm.
Davis, and the great founder of this great company, Chris, the originator
Yes,
Draper.
sir.
We will see y'all in the next video.